We have some big pro wrestling news. I'm going to put the timestamps in the description down below. We're going to kick things off with a WWE plan for Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Guys, we don't know if it's going to happen at SummerSlam. We don't know when it's going to happen. But Rey Mysterio was on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive, and the topic of him having a mask versus hair match was brought up. And Rey Mysterio says this is something that he's going to be pitching to the WWE. He wants to make it happen. Obviously, anybody who follows lucha history knows that this is one of the biggest things historically that can happen in the world of lucha pro wrestling. And when you look at WWE and having this massive storyline with Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, I actually hope this is the route that they choose to go, especially when you consider just how great this storyline has been. Now, I'm not saying WWE is perfect by any means, but this has become one of my favorite feuds, one of my favorite storylines that don't involve a championship belt. And if you're a pro wrestling company and you don't aim to create stories like this, I think you are missing out on tons and tons of interest. This has money written all over it. And look, Rey Mysterio working with his son, I just think they have created such magical content together. When you look at the Judgment Day's involvement, when you look at Dominic Mysterio and how much he has progressed, this is one of those things I genuinely enjoy watching. And, you know, I have long pitched this idea that Dominic Mysterio, if he does in fact take Rey Mysterio's mask, that's when we should see Dominic Mysterio go all black and become a demonic character. Now, when I say demonic character, I'm talking more of like demonic Flamita. If you guys don't know who that is, please do a Google search. But the idea of Dominic Mysterio wearing the Rey Mysterio mask, wearing attire that is all black, and then becoming Prince Mysterio, it could potentially work. Now, keep in mind, Prince Mysterio is the name that's always been attached to Dominic Mysterio as far as his future wrestling name. And WWE has kept him as Dominic Mysterio, which I have no issue with that as well. But I do envision a future with Rey Mysterio eventually being gone and retired, and then having Dominic Mysterio represent that mask. I think by taking over that mask and actually being a heel, it would be massive. And then eventually you can do a babyface run and all of those things. But I just think there's so much money in Dominic Mysterio being a heel right now. If he were to be all black, black mask, black Rey Mysterio mask, it would just be so compelling. And honestly, I really look forward to seeing what WWE goes and does with this. But it looks like WWE obviously has some big plans. This is what Rey Mysterio wants. And I think this is something we're all going to get. Guys, it appears that WWE is making a change to NXT commentary. Maybe even further changes are being teased here. Robert Stone is no longer with Von Wagner. Now, if you don't watch WWE NXT, Robert Stone was the manager for Von Wagner. He also used to manage Chelsea Green back when she was in NXT. And, you know, for those who know Robert Stone, then you might know his history as a pro wrestler in the Indies, and then, of course, TNA Impact, where he was Robbie E. Now, see, the thing is, Robert Stone is a great character. He is a great mouthpiece, and I've actually really wanted to see him as a manager on the main roster, but now he is actually working commentary for NXT Level Up. Now, there is no confirmation that this is a permanent change, but WWE is testing out a 3-man booth for NXT Level Up, and really what I think is this is WWE's way of seeing whether or not they have a future with Robert Stone being on commentary. Now, I think he's a fantastic talker. I'm excited to see what it sounds like on NXT Level Up, but you have to wonder with the WWE draft going on, and Triple H made it very clear it's coming up soon, and every single person is eligible for this draft. I have to wonder if WWE is going to shift the commentary teams. We don't know what's happening with Pat McAfee. We know Booker T is doing commentary on NXT. I do believe that they're going to make some changes for the draft, and having commentators get drafted is actually a really good idea. I hope WWE, under Triple H's vision, creatively, can go back to the old days of the draft, you know, where the wrestlers were waiting in the locker room, just waiting to see what's going to happen, see what's going to go down. And I think you should split up commentary teams and split up tag teams and split up groups, all of these different things that will really shake up the WWE. Robert Stone being tested out for NXT Level Up tells me that, hey, maybe WWE is going to make some major shifts, and you got to be prepared for that. Right now, I'm not saying I want Booker T on Raw. I think Booker T is a fine commentator. I don't think it's anything special or anything, you know, that is a must change. But I also like Kevin Patrick, and some people don't like Kevin Patrick on commentary. So I'm curious if maybe Booker T gets called up from NXT to work on Raw. Maybe Robert Stone takes over NXT commentary completely, or maybe you make some changes here and there. But WWE is definitely making some commentary changes. I can't wait to see what actually unfolds, and obviously time will tell. Guys, WWE has brought back Wesley Blake. Do you remember Wesley Blake? If you don't remember him, I don't blame you. He was a part of NXT, and then he was part of the WWE main roster with Steve Cutler, and then what's his name? Jackson Riker. See, I forgot about Jackson Riker, but I think we all know why we forget about Jackson Riker. So at the end of the day, Steve Cutler went on to Impact. He's potentially going to become the Impact World Champion as Steve Maclin. He's somebody who left the WWE, got released, and now he's absolutely killing it everywhere else. Wesley Blake was somebody with a ton of potential, but then unfortunately, he just never really was given the chance. He was always a tag team guy in WWE, and then obviously we saw how, things were impacted once Jackson Riker had all of his controversies that led to the release. So now Wesley Blake is actually back in WWE. However, this time he is back in a coaching role, and he is involved with training the company's wrestlers. So basically, nobody really knows when he came back to the WWE officially. We do know last year in 2022, he was a guest coach at the Performance Center during the summer. But now, according to Fightful Select, it sounds as if he is back in the company. And listen, I think this is a good thing. I think anytime you have somebody who's been in the WWE system for a while, and, I just think they deserve a chance to be involved. Realistically, some guys in WWE will never be big stars, but that doesn't necessarily discredit their actual skill. So Wesley Blake being in the WWE is fine with me, and being a coach there I think will be great. And he is somebody who actually knows what the system is like. He's been there, and I think if you're the WWE, you definitely have to familiarize your talent with people who have definitely come up through the system. And with that being said, guys, we're going to turn our attention to AEW. CM Punk coming back to WWE or AEW. What is going on? This is the question that everybody keeps asking. Well, now it seems like we got some answers, because Fightful Select had dropped some major news today that CM Punk is wanting to come to AEW. He wants to work. He's willing to work with anybody. This is something that obviously seems like big news, especially for AEW, considering that they're trying to sell out Wembley Stadium. Now, if you're AEW and you are looking at your roster, you're looking at everything, I think you need CM Punk to help sell out the stadium. And I honestly have gone as far as saying you should try to bring in Goldberg. You should try to bring in Mercedes Moné. You should try to bring in Naomi. You should try to bring in as many top names as possible into your company prior to selling out the show, because CM Punk is a major name. And you know what? I've said for a while, I just don't believe any of this drama. I really think a lot of it's been exaggerated. I genuinely just believe none of this is really that accurate. And I'm not picking this side because I disagree with who's coming out with what reports. I just think there's been so many mixed reports on this. And I think CM Punk ultimately wanting to be back is a good thing for AEW. So maybe this is just AEW's chance to really fix things. If something actually went down, which let's just say it did. Let's just say the fight and everything is real. Let's say none of this drama was exaggerated. Let's just say to its very core, it's 100% legitimate, no bullshit, right? If that is the case, then have CM Punk come back. Show the wrestling world that you can get over all of this drama and do what is best for business. Bring back CM Punk in the main event against Kenny Omega. That is the headline match, in my opinion. It has to be up there. It has to be the top match. This will be one of the biggest events, this will be the biggest event of AEW's history, and you don't want to lose out at all on this match. With that being said, my name is Zango. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.